vestige! You're the help the Skull King promised? Suddenly I feel a lot better about our chances. Still, this threat is bigger than King Yoren imagined. The Ice Reach Coven. Witches operating in secret right under the Skull King's voluminous nose. And this isn't just the usual Reach mischief, of that I'm sure. I need to investigate, but I can't do it by myself. Help me locate the Coven and determine their ultimate intentions. Between the two of us, we can cover more ground and figure out the full extent of this threat. As long as the magic Yoren's wizards gave me works as promised, that is. Meet me in Deshan. The Skull King's scouts spotted members of the Coven near the shrine to St. Realms. We'll start there. As for the magic, I'll tell you more about that when we're away from prying eyes. Not much. King Yoren's mages are still studying the ritual fragment we discovered, but there's been no further word on the witch's mysterious patron. So far, the evidence only suggests that they're planning an attack on the mainland. We're not exactly sure. That's why Yoren sent me to investigate. But you saw the storms they controlled in the Sea of Ghosts. Imagine that kind of destruction unleashed on a town or a city. Look, are you ready to go, or do you need time to prepare? Keep your voice down. Buildings have ears, especially guild halls. I'll provide all the details when we get to the meeting place. I chartered a wagon to take us there. Is there anything else you need to know before we get started? Well, we defeated Molag Bal and stopped the plane melt, but the empire I knew was dead and gone. There wasn't anything else I could do for Varen or Cyrodiil, but Skyrim was still there. So, whatever I can. Traveling, dealing with problems as I encounter them. My axe has been busy, that's for sure. Mostly I've been helping Yoren the Skull King, looking into bad situations. Like this one, with the Ice Reach Coven. This is the place. Can't say I know what Reach witches would be doing here, but the Skull King scouts have never sent me on a wild guard chase before. Let's see if the trek out here was worth it. When we defeated whatever I can. I was getting... The Skull King's wizards added their own spell to the medallions. We each get one. Here. They're supposed to lead us to magic similar to what's contained in the medallions. Ice Reach magic. Wave it around and see what happens. Don't look at me. It's not like Nords are known for being great mages, so whatever the Skull King's wizards did may not work, or it could explode. Hold up the medallion and see if you can make it work. Thanks to the Skull King's wizards, it should lead us to magic similar to what's contained in the jewelry. Ice Reach magic. Just take it out and give it a try. It actually worked! Follow that trail. I'll take the other one. Find anything? So, find anything that will help us locate the Ice Reach Coven? I was led to a similar site. Damn witches! Whatever game the Ice Reach Coven is playing at, we need to put an end to it. Preferably with multiple swings of my axe. Let me see the note you found. That's no help. Luckily, Yoren's scouts provided a few locations of interest with their last report. Let me mark them on your map. When you reach each location, use the medallion and see where the magic leads. I'll catch up with you shortly. First ice storms, now fire. Keep your guard up. The Coven won't hesitate to kill anyone who gets too close. Nothing like a quick battle to get the heart pumping. But I'm surprised we haven't faced more opposition. The Coven must be preoccupied. Wasn't expecting to fight vampires, though. Did you find anything interesting at the sites I marked on your map? A blood fiend. You don't usually run into them in this part of the world. Let me see the note. Huh. There's that word again. Lucrative. And what's that about a simple ritual? Sounds like Coven activity to me. Anything else to report? I don't like the look of that. It feels wrong. The Skald King's mages will want to examine it. In the meantime, we need to figure out what the Coven is up to. How do rituals, vampires, and blood fiends figure into their plan? And just one. A note from a merchant named Goharth Ironbelly. Found it on these vampires. Ironbelly is apparently supplying something the Coven requires, but the note doesn't go into details. It says we can find him at a Riften Inn, the Withered Tree. The note said Ironbelly does business at the Withered Tree Inn. This way. Once we spot Ironbelly, we'll follow from a distance until he leads us to the Coven. Ironbelly's note suggested he'd meet with the Coven after he did some business in this inn. When he arrives, don't do anything to alarm him. We want the merchant completely at ease when he leaves to go rendezvous with the witches. Just mill about and try not to draw attention to yourself. Honestly, I'm more comfortable with the direct approach, but we need to play this carefully. Then when he leaves, he can lead us directly to the coven.
Ah, good lizard. I'll take a pint of your finest ale. And what have we here? You're a strapping lass. Let old Ironbelly buy you a drink or two? What do you say?
Not interested.
Not interested? Go-hot Ironbelly never takes no for an answer.
Go away, little man, before I break you.
I beg your pardon. But things will be different after that bitch lives up to her promise.
The liberator of Ballaston Hall. Your bravery is legendary.
Never fails. Follow a rat, you wind up in a sewer. Why my sewers always smell so bad? God, when we find Ironbelly, I'm gonna cave in his head for dragging us down here. My armor will never be mistaken for a bed of roses, but sewer stink lingers like Thane Yagi around the meat hall. You followed Ironbelly, I followed you. Come on, let's find that slimy merchant and see what he's doing down here. Thieves and murderers aren't the only scum that inhabit the Ratway. The local Jarl keeps sealing the entrances, but it never stays closed for long. It would make a perfect lair for the Coven. Watch your step and try not to blunder into any traps. No, damn it! Sneaky bastard. He rigged the gate to lock behind him. Look, don't wait for me. Find Ironbelly.
Were you followed, Iron Belly?
Of course not, Sister Balra. My caution is legendary.
And have the arrangements I requested been made?
The flyers have been distributed. And your friend with the fangs?
Busy, I'm afraid.
You promised a vampire would turn me! Make good on our deal, or I'll report this to the Jarl!
You will do nothing of the sort. Greedy fool outlived his usefulness.
Finally! This place is amazing. Wait, what happened? I hope Ironbelly told you something before you killed him. So what happened? Did you get too close? Did he attack you? Damn! That must have been one of the Ice Reach Coven witches. Any idea where she may have gone? That's not much to go on, but it's all we have. I'll meet you at the cart outside of town. All right, the cart's ready. Now tell me what else you found out down in the Ratway. Let me see that. Huh. Another lucrative opportunity. But this time we know where they're leading people. To an isolated inn somewhere in Eastmarch. Did you hear anything else that I need to know? A vampire. Working with the Coven. That would explain the strange blood fiends in the Ratway. We'll worry about that later. Right now, we have to get to Eastmarch and find that witch. Oh, before we leave, take this. The cart will take us to the Grinning Horker in Eastmarch. Hop aboard and we can get along. I don't want to give the Coven any more of a lead than they already have. Answers, I hope. That's what Yorn the Skald King sent me to find, after all. The witches of the Ice Reach Coven are definitely up to something, luring unsuspecting folk with promises of wealth. We saw what happened at those ritual sites. Tempted to a desolate area in Eastmarch, most likely to be subjected to more of those strange rituals. If that doesn't scream danger, I don't know what does. Will you accompany me, my friend? I'd appreciate your help in this matter. If you're ready to travel to the Grinning Horker, climb aboard the cart. We'll be in Eastmarch before you know it. Good idea, but so far the pieces don't tell a complete story. We found evidence of the Coven luring people with promises of gold so they could experiment on them. Ritual items, vampires, and strange blood fiends. What does it all mean? I've seen similar totems, but nothing exactly like that witch pike. It disturbed me just to look at it. It appears to be a key component to their ritual, though the Skald King's mages will determine that for certain. The Ice Reach Coven consists of witches and warriors of the Reach loyal to their cause. I never saw a connection to vampires before. Maybe the bloodsuckers are hired help? Come on. Hopefully we'll learn more when we get to the Grinning Horker. You saw what I saw. Those feral creatures were near some of the ritual sites, and each site appeared to be a slightly different version of the ritual. Like they're trying to perfect it. We need to walk from here. Follow the path up the mountain. Place looks empty. Let's talk. Nothing waiting to impede our progress? No guards? No witches? Nothing. Just a lonely inn on a desolate hillside. If Ironbelly's flyer led us astray, we're gonna head back and kill him again. I expected answers. Ironbelly sent people here for a reason. They have to be someplace. If we don't pick up the Coven's trail, I'm not sure we'll find them again in time to stop whatever the witches have planned. Let's take a look around. Anything that points to what the witches are up to. We need to determine the full extent of the threat. Let's explore the inn and look for any clues as to what happened to the people they lured here. With luck, that may lead us to the Coven. Bedrolls. For those who came for the lucrative opportunity. I wonder where they are now. I've never known a Nord to abandon a meal while there's still food on the plate. Fresh blood. It leads to that hatch. Great. The trail leads into the basement. Empty. That's all right. Nothing important. Definitely not a secret passage. I am not touching that. I knew there had to be a secret passage. Let's see where this goes. far down does this tunnel lead?
Stay away! I won't go back! I won't! You aren't one of the Reach Witches? You have to help me.
I'll take a look up ahead.
You aren't one of the We were in the Hawker, waiting for them to tell us how we were going to make a pile of gold. When they ordered us to go to the basement, one of us refused. They cut him. There was so much blood. When we saw the Reach Witches, a few of us tried to fight. I slipped away before anyone noticed. They're doing something terrible down here. Something monstrous. Please, you must help the others. And you need to destroy the Pikes. They're evil.
Look at it, my friend. I thought it was just an old legend, but it's real. It's real. Blackreach. The world below Skyrim. Every Nord child hears the stories. How another world stretches beneath the Nine Holds. Each story is slightly different. Some talk about dwarven cities, others about terrible monsters or fabulous treasure. What else could it be? Whatever it is, it's a perfect hiding place for the Ice Reach Coven. We need to get down there and find the witches. We must put a stop to whatever evil the Coven is planning. The poor man is frightened out of his mind. I'll escort him back through the tunnel to the Grinning Horker. Meanwhile, get down there and see what you can find out. If you see any witch pikes, destroy them. I'll catch up with you shortly.
out once the coast is clear.
Hold, friend. You need to hear what I have to say. Thank the eight you came along. We were next in line for the witch's ritual. Please, I need to tell you what I saw. I saw the witches put some poor sods into a circle, surrounded by evil-looking pikes. They chanted and called forth a strange black storm. It killed some, but turned most of the people into those harrow fiends. That's what Sister Balra called them. There's a dwarven ruin west of here. Sister Balra has been using that as her personal domain. If she's around, that's where you'll find her. Damn it. I should have known. That flyer was too good to be true. I needed work. A lucrative opportunity was too good to pass up. It seemed strange when they marched us into the basement. We tried to fight, but there were too many of them. Kralt got away, though, I think. I just hope he made it to safety.
I got back as quick as I could. Other than a few skirmishes, I didn't uncover anything important. What about you? Tell me you found something. Two things I wholeheartedly approve of. I carved a path through a number of witches and vampires myself. Sure as bones there are a lot of these bastards. Anything else to report? This is it. This must be what the Skald King is worried about. A ritual that produces harrow storms. Magic that turns people into a new kind of blood fiend. A harrow fiend. I wish I knew whose head I had to remove to stop this. Sister Balra? The same witch that killed the merchant back in Riften. I'd definitely like to get my hands on that one. Let's go. Windhelm sentry. Down here? Hey! Are you alright?
That lying, manipulative witch. She stabbed me. The Reach Witch, Sister Balra. We had a deal, but she doubted me. Listen, forget about me. I made a terrible mistake. I told her how to sneak into the Palace of Kings. Now I think the Skald King is in danger. Balra said she had something planned for High King Yoren. Said I was a loose end. Please, I think she means to kill the Skald King. You must save him. I never meant to endanger Skyrim.
Idiot! Sells out the Skald King for a handful of gold. Assassinating the Skald King would be a terrible blow to Skyrim and the Pact, but I assumed the Ice Reach Coven had a grander plan than that. Nevertheless, we have to save Yoren. A deathbed confession? That tells me the Sentry believed he put the Skald King in danger. I can't take a chance when it comes to Yoren's safety. Back to the wagon. We leave for Windhelm at once. The Palace of Kings. Hurry! We must warn Yoren. Doesn't look like anyone's on alert. Got here in time.
I'll
can't divulge such information. Even the great lyrist Titanborn must know that. It's a matter of royal security.
Royal security? Listen, you little fool. You talk to her.
Who does Titanborn think she is? Demanding to see the Scald King. Whatever you and the half-giant think you found is irrelevant. The Scald King is safe inside the Palace of Kings. It's the most secure structure in all of Skyrim. Well, it's true that Sentry Darfel never arrived for his shift today. And High King Yoren is touring the palace, but that's supposed to be a secret. The Ice Reach Coven, you say? How highly irregular. But if this is true... King Yoren wanted to tour the lower levels, to check on the progress of the construction. He could be anywhere. Go inside and find him at once. I'll rally the guards and secure the palace. Now hurry!
Into the palace. Let's move! Damn, we're already inside. We must find the Skull King. Maps of Harfingar? Why would the Coven and its allies need that? Map details the distribution of troops throughout Skyrim. Look, they tore off the western holds. Key to the dungeons. Yoren wasn't up here, so let's search down there. alone, witch.
Yoren is ours. He will be a fine addition to our patron's forces. Enough of this! Now, you will die!
They wanted to turn me into a monster. I've had enough of this dungeon. Let's talk in the throne room.
That's my report, Skald King. Our friend can tell you more. I have a feeling we're not done with the Ice Reach Coven just yet. But at least the Skald King is safe. Go on. He wants to talk to you.
Held captive in my own dungeon. If word gets out, I would be laughed off my rebuilt throne. And rightly so. On to business. I heard Lyris' report. Now tell me, what did you uncover? Yes, so Lyris mentioned Harrow Fiend, she called them. An ominous name. And that Sister Balra claimed she was turning me into a monster? What else did you learn about the Ice Reach Coven? Vampires. I have known both decent and terrible folk burdened by that curse. I take it the ones working with the Coven fall into the latter category. Anything else? Hafengar? High King Svargrim rules that hold from the City of Solitude. We don't see eye to eye, especially since neither of us will openly acknowledge the other's reign. Still, he should be warned. Talk to Lyris, I have much to think about.
Svargrim and the people of Western Skyrim can be real pains in the arse, but they're still Nords. Despite the differences between their holds and ours, we won't abandon them to the Coven's conspiracy. Not so fast, friend. Western Skyrim doesn't exactly get along with Eastern Skyrim. Politics can be a tricky business, so I tend to leave that to the politicians. When King Yoren gives the word, then we go. Not before. Now we celebrate our victory, and let Yoren's scouts do what they do best. Meanwhile, I'll work with the Skald King to figure out how to approach Svargrim with this news. In the meantime, take this. You earned it. I'll be in touch soon. This isn't over, not from what we learned of the Ice Reach Coven. For now, though, we rest, and let the Skald King make plans. There'll be plenty of time to kill more Reach Witches another day. There hasn't been a single ruler in over 100 years. Jarl Svarter of Solitude refused to recognize Freydis as the legitimate heir. Ever since, the kingdom has been divided. Damn inconvenient at times like this. Yoren rules over Eastern Skyrim from Windhelm, while Svargrim lords over the Western holds from his palace in Solitude. If the Ice Reach Coven has targeted Western Skyrim, it will take both nations to stop them. If we can ever agree on anything. Train. Eat. Drink. Probably drink some more. But don't worry. I'll be ready when the Skald King gives the word. Then we'll move against the Ice Reach Coven. You have my word on that.
here? We had deadlines to meet.
You know the rules. No one's allowed inside without authorization. And I don't see your people. They're all the same.
I don't believe this.
Give 'em
I'm
your
not leaving
head
until you
and
let
they
us
get
in.
all high and mighty.
Friend, I need your help. There's no time. Take this. Keep it safe. Information. The Ice Reach Coven at work in the west. Just need more proof. Go! They're coming! Don't trust them. Only Lyris. She's...
You there! What did that fugitive tell you? Who are you? Another spy? What did this lying Easterner say to you? Assisting a fugitive is a crime in Hafingar Hold. Unless you want to find out how we deal with traitors and spies, tell me what he said to you. Lucky for you. If he had told you any seditious lies and you decided to keep them from us, you'd have been in real trouble. Don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong. Solitude doesn't take kindly to instigators or strangers. And mark my words, you'd rather not get on the wrong side of the High King's guard. Go on. Just remember, I'll be keeping an eye on you.
Can you believe it? Some know-nothing priestess tried to tell me that talking to plants does nothing for them. How wrong can a person be?
Kyne's Aegis needs your help. Sea giants and vampires are everywhere.
You look sturdy enough. Vampires and sea giants have invaded the island of Kyne's Aegis. We need all the willing warriors we can find to repel the attack. Like I said, a fleet of sea giants and vampires stormed the island, bent on slaughter. Our soldiers fought bravely, but the invaders pushed the last of our troops back to the keep. They'll land the decisive blow any minute. We need help. Gather some stout ally. Kyne preserve you, friend. It's a rocky outpost.
What do you want? You must be one of the good. Talk to Thane.
Kyne's Aegis needs your help. Sea giants and vampires are everywhere.
If you're anything like me. Stay back! I'll do it! I'll stab you! I mean it! One step closer, and I'll stick you like a hawker! I don't know any Brondold. That is what I told the guards, and that is what I'm telling you. I don't want any more trouble. You make me stab you, and it's my word against yours. Dead? Stone's mercy. And I'm next, aren't I? I promise.
I don't know anything. I won't make any trouble. I'll disappear. I don't even like it here. You'll never see me again. He did not tell me a lot. Said he was tracking some bad people. Asked me to keep an eye out for any unusual comings and goings. He'd come by now and then with a sweet roll and a few coins for my trouble. He was nice. The last time we spoke, it was about the men with the job postings. A pair of wolves in sheep's clothing. Trying to blend in, but still off around the edges. Same with their horses. Sheared mountain mares. Come from the Reach, I wager. Flyers. They were hanging them at the inn around the city. Something about a lucrative opportunity in the Druidic Mountains. I really did not pay them a lot of attention. I was more interested in the men distributing them. Take Brondo's horse and run before someone less friendly comes to find me. Bron was going to take me back east after he finished here. I want to live where strangers are welcomed with a smile instead of a scowl. I hear Windhelm is like that. We are stuck between the despot of Markarth and the Skald King of the East. Both sniff around like wolves, waiting for a moment of weakness to strike. Not a day goes by without the threat of war. It is exhausting living this way. They'd be wise to. The only time Reachmen and Nords meet is to kill each other. I always heard they were raiders and barbarians. No interest in honest labor, or writing for that matter. Not the sort to post job notices. Who knows? Maybe they really do need laborers. Can't imagine Reachmen would hire Nords, so. It doesn't make a lot of sense. A wild land full of wild folk, located south and west of here. It's changed hands between Reachmen and the Nords more times than I can count. But they control the territory now. Seeing Reachmen wandering the streets of Solitude, it makes me nervous. You'd feel the same if you knew the tales of the fall of Markarth. What the Reachmen do to folks they capture. Better to slice your own throat than let those barbarians take you alive. If they raid our hold, just run and don't look back.
Since coming here, I keep dreaming about someone staring into my window, watching me sleep. Oof.
I've been here for days now. Someone or something keeps visiting my farm and killing livestock. So I thought the king might send some hunters out to help me track them down. So far, no audience allowed. What keeps our king?
Borfrey, is that you? Listen closely, you insufferable clod. I need you to find my notes and... wait, you're not Borfrey. I can tell from the lack of heavy breathing and sniffles. Who are you? Stuck in the bottle? No. This is a devious and very stubborn illusion. One that you now have the privilege of breaking. I was conducting some research, you see, and inadvertently triggered this spell. Luckily, I know how to reverse it. It's quite simple. I recorded the locations of 3 verses of a powerful incantation in my journal on the off chance something like this occurred. Acquire the verses, come back and dispel this illusion. I'll make it worth your while, I promise. Oh, my assistant Borfrey has my journal. Find it, read my notes, and acquire the incantation. Also tell him to come get me. Someone nearly took a swig of me. Oh, I suppose introductions are in order. I am Narcissus Dren, famed historian, etc. Oh, does it really matter? Every historian worth his salt winds up trapped in an illusion at some point. Oh, very common, and thus not worthy of discussion or commitment to record. I will say, though, as magical traps go, Mailmoth's wards are top tier. Indeed, I acquired a powerful scroll from the Mages Guild. I thought it might direct me to a legendary illusionist's secret sanctum. Unfortunately, reading it led me to this dismal state. Steal? We're adventurers, aren't we? What you call stealing, I call daring investigation. Mailmoth's works contain a wealth of secrets. If we don't pursue them, some other historian will. I, for one, have no interest in sharing the glory with, why, with anyone other than you, of course. You really thought I meant to exclude you? Oh, you wound me. Oh, illusion magic extends far beyond simple parlor tricks and mirages. Skilled practitioners exert power over the mind itself. Intellectually, I know I am not precisely. The spell turned my knowledge of the natural sciences against me. Yes, the mage Mailmoth hid them all over Solitude. Who was he? Past tense. Mailmoth was one of Skyrim's most gifted illusionists. A contemporary of the great Shalador, if you can believe it. Of course, he's been dead for hundreds of years now. I'd say his countless secrets. He was a master illusionist.
If you see a pretty bottle around, let me know. It talks, if that helps. Oh, thank you. I was worried that Master Dren had gotten lost when I went to get myself some stew. I guess I just forgot why I set the bottle down. I'll go and get it. Him. As soon as I finish my stew. It's really good stew. That's good. A talking bottle makes me nervous, and it sure made Master Dren crankier than normal.
trouble. I am seeking a reliable... If it isn't my fate... Oh, no. The danger...
I haven't seen you before. Are you new to Solitude? Better yet, are you looking for work? If so, you've come to the right person. Let's talk. Not me, my debtors. I provide funds to the coterie of organized scholars and the Swords of Solitude militia. Both are short-handed and in arrears, so I took it upon myself to correct their courses before they leave me destitute. You'll work for them. Cautious. Good. You might last long enough to help me recoup the gold I lent those fine and upstanding organizations. Because too much of my wealth is tied up in their enterprises. They were reliable investments for years, but they're an organization of local scholars granted the exclusive right to pursue their research in the Western Holds. The Mages Guild relies upon them as one of the oldest independent militias in the Western Holds. Sell swords granted the right to ply their trade with the kingdom in exchange for Tenzin represents the coterie. Odd work, but it pays well. Hidaver handles the militia's assignments.
Help out a poor soul.
Wait, but what do I see? Brave soul, look at you, those resolute shoulders, that glint in your eye that says, I'm ready for action. After searching high and low, I finally found just the person that Skyrim's premier arts college calls out for. How would you? The Bard's College, of course. We who pluck heartstrings and chill the blood. Years ago, our prized antique instruments were, borrowed by an overzealous member. She meant to heal a rift within the college, but it only made things worse. No one knows. The bard responsible left clues to their locations in a song, Nell's Hidden Loves. Just as yours truly solves the first verse, that instrument surfaced at a secret auction. Are you available for hire to retrieve the instrument? No, naturally, you can't walk into a secret auction without the proper attire, especially not the Sapphire Societies. Their events are outre and rare, mind-boggling and taboo fair. No serf sets their affair. Sorry, I can't help myself. All these secret societies love disguising themselves. It gives a sense of excitement to their lives of leisure. Fortunately, bards hear all sorts of secrets. Wearing this robe and mask will get you in the door. You also need... The magnates of the Sapphire Society speak a simple phrase to gain entry into their events. A jewel of blue rules the view. Truly underscores how they see themselves, doesn't it? Excellent. You scan lines quickly, I see. Still, I would avoid any ad-libbing. Remember, a jewel of blue rules the view. Well, you and I will save it together. A joint effort, brains and brawn. When they pen the song of this adventure, no doubt you will receive. Many years ago, the college had a collection of legendary instruments. Each inspired great passions. Some said the instruments were too precious and needed protection. Others asked, what use are they if they can't be played? The two sides actually came to blows. Fretboards and inkwells flying everywhere. One of the college's greatest bards, Nell Farsong, took them. She thought if the instruments went missing, the fighting could end. So she hid them throughout Skyrim, which ended the war, but... Oh, she died. Very sad. And she never told a soul where to find the instruments. But while reading Nell's Hidden Loves, I realized it held clues to their locations. If we recover them based on... It's a lute called Petra Loop. Actually, it's Petra Lute, but try saying that after 5 strong meads. It was the learning lute at the college for generations, played by dozens, hundreds of bards over the years. It means a lot to us. Well, I hate to brag, but I am quite famous. Even if I wore the Sapphire Society disguise, the members would immediately recognize my voice.
Our precious instrument.
Nezashul is glad to be of acquaintance to you. Tinzen tells him that you are to assist with his inquiries on behalf of the coterie of organized... Ha! You find this morbid, yes? What can Nezashul say? Death has always been a great fan. This one is cute. It is not the dead that Nezashul...
Speak. Welcome, and enter.
That white mammoth certainly drew quite a bit of interest. So glad I won. They're so rare. Let's just hope the broker didn't cover a brown mammoth in town.
I swear if I hear one more...
You know, as great as it is to be here to acquire some of these...
Do you know what I wish to see come up for sale? An item that demonstrates who the true rulers of Solitude are.
All I'm saying is, if the Jarl doesn't realize he's still...
I'm biding my time. I think the broker has something...
I'm not impressed.
I'm so disappointed that...
The decrees from the Blue Palace are simply absurd. Investigating transfers of suspected stolen property?
If you want to see our next item, you'll have to wait like everyone else. No private previews. You should know the rules. But believe me, you'll want to stick around for this one. It's the loot? Nice patina. Just a trifle I came across in one of my hunts. It went on the block earlier. Too bad you weren't here then. There was only one buyer. A little bidding war would have warmed up the crowd. Now I do wish you had been here. You are skirting the rules. No revealing identities of buyers. Still.
Oh, look, another instrument. Oh, that loot. Yes, a mantelpiece for my music room. Has a nice shine to it. I acquired it for a song. A song! Perhaps by the window that looks out onto the thoroughfare, watching those stuffy antiquarians rave over dusty
my bad side. Trust me.
Ah, bloody mages and their bloody tricks.
You have a great deal of work to do, antiquarian. The potential applications... Oh, I could... That is entirely... Well, you're antique practically anywhere.
Welcome to the Circle, Karam. I'm the organization's resident eccentric. So if you're fond of business... Well, that's how this lot sees me. I always... Ha! How much time do you have? As a complete waste... Oh, plenty! Like, I've got a cyrodiilic bird person skull buried around here somewhere. Ugron, mostly. Oh, yes. I don't want to get... No. If by unusual you mean remarkable, I agree. Quite the feat of engineering, eh? I made it... No. Practically everyone does. I was born with a twisted spine. It makes walking... Made childhood in Somerset a real treat, let me tell you. Want to see a high elf's face light up? Put them in the room with someone they perceive as fundamental... What? Mara's mercy, no. There's only so much you can learn there. The Sapiarchs, that whole business with the Thalmor and the Dominion. Too many tight collars and small minds. Yes, indeed. And I've never had...
Brave meeting, antiquarian, and welcome to the Circle. Ugron Gro Thumog, wise counsel to Chief Bukadok. Yes, we decided to distinguish it from other coursework. Plucking arrowheads out of the grass on an ancient battlefield is one thing. Searching a Nord barrow for a dragon? Dungeons, tombs, olds, gold's overrated. I'm talking about I'm an orc. Fighting comes with the tusks. Just one of those things. I grew up in a very traditional stronghold. Childhood in a stronghold's not so bad, but everybody grows up eventually. An orc like me sure did. They were pretty sore about it for a while. Damn near killed me on the way out, throwing rocks and hand tools and such. But we've patched things up. You know, we orcs put on a big... Yeah, with counsel, news from abroad, that sort of thing. They wind up getting this. Stay focused and keep your feet...
Welcome to the Antiquarian Circle. Reginus Puka, Associate Professor at the University of Gwylem. Traveling companion and frequent intellectual more than she might like, I wager. One person's reckless isn't only that you should let the evidence... I honestly can't remember ever wanting to do... Of course. What could be more frivolous? But no, it's... Well, if you want to keep... Well enough, I suppose. Solitude's a bit chillier than Windhelm, in both temperature and temperament. Who knew it? Oh, countless relics.
I could use a warm bath.
I'm not sure if you're...
Having traveled.
Some ruffians.
Thank you for your service to the Mage.
You've returned! Have you brought back the Petroloop? Will my fingers glide over its gentle curves once more? Ah, Petroloop returns home! You know, I wooed my first love with this very loot, and my third as well. Thus begins the restoration of the college's famed collection to its former greatness. The history... I assembled the museum for just this moment, but I think you deserve the honor of placing Petroloop on its podium. Ah, wonderful! I left a copy of Nell's Hidden Loves on the table there. Have a look. Wonderful! Look at the proud Petroloop in its proper place once more. And we're a step closer to undoing Nell's folly. But there are many other priceless instruments lost somewhere out in the world. They need to come home. Yes, indeed. Let the clues within Nell's Hidden Loves guide the way. As you... Ah, yes, I see you have. I commend your dedication to the arts. When all the instruments rest in their proper... Of course it will be. We will use the instruments too. They should be revered, yes, but used for special occasions. But first, more instruments. You'll have expenses. Let me weigh you down with some gold before you go. As you fill the museum, bards from all over... With the clues in Nell's Hidden Love. Certainly, it will likely... Ah, yes, you may not be so familiar with the structure here.
What is it?
Hello? Is that you, Doughty Assistant? How should I know? I'm a historian, not a hedge wizard. Hello? How should I know? I'm a historian, not a hedge wizard. Just use your best judgment. I have near total faith in you. Hello? How should I know? I'm a historian. Yes, Yes, that's it. I think, yes, I think that's right. I can feel the glass cracking around me. Keep going. That's it.
Oh, finally! Let's see. Legs, arms, stylish coiffure. Yes, looks like everything's as it should be. What a relief. Oh, it's you, my under-eager assistant of adventures past. Well, any port in a storm, yes? We need to find Melmoth's Mysterium quickly. First, we need his journal. A bull-headed librarian refused to share it with me. Can you believe that? Oh, the usual inanities of frumpy book hoarders. I might have torn one of the pages. Honestly, you'd barely notice. But you know how librarians are. Spill a drink or talk too loudly or rip a few pages and wham! They cast you out on your ear. Ugh. A prickly Argonian named Dean Villaz. She works in the Mages Guild Library in Solitude. I might have said a few indecorous things about her beady little eyes. My fault. But people who stand in the way of discovery really get my dander up. Yes, of course. Narcissus Dren is always true to his word. If you assist me in following the clues laid out in Melmoth's journal, I will gladly share the wonders of his Mysterium with you. Borfrey! Why in Beck's name did you bring my belongings out onto the street?
Master Dren, I'm terribly sorry. I just thought you were hollering so loud, maybe I should let you cool down a bit. And I didn't have any coin for the innkeeper. You, want some stew?
I most certainly do not. Gather my effects. We look like deranged indigents out here.
Welcome to the Mages Guild Library. Please handle our books and scrolls with the care they deserve. I already cast out a careless dark elf. I pray that I will not have to ask anyone else to leave today. Ugh. Do you work with that strutting war Narcissus Dren? The famed scholar? Scholar my shedding tail scales. He tore a page in a valuable book, and I suspect he stole one of Melmoth's scrolls. What reason could I possibly have to help you? Quite a coincidence that two people come calling for the same rare text on the same day. Then again, helping one of Narcissus Dren's competitors does warm my scales. Fine. The journal's there on the table. But if any harm comes to it, I will find out. The journal is just there on the table. I should warn you, Melmoth was mad as a sack of weasels. Whatever you intend to do with the text, I doubt it will be worth the effort. Remember what I said.
Ah, assistants. It's about time. So, any luck with that cold-blooded librarian? Excellent. I must admit, I had my doubts, but you're turning out to be a model employee. Assistant. Partner? Whatever. Now, if you just hand it over, I can try to untangle Mailmoth's riddles and set us on the right path. She would. This text reveals Mailmoth's mysterium, his trove to arcane trinkets and treasures. Now, just give me a moment to, Yes, I have it. This clearly refers to a meditation grotto near Kilcreath, one of Shalador's old haunts. Well, to be frank, this seems too good to be true. A single riddle leading to our prize? Too easy. Then again, things often come easy to an adventurer of my caliber. I have some business to conclude here. I'll meet you at Kilcreath once I'm finished. How would I not? Ancient mysteries are Narcisstren's stock in trade. No arcane relic or lost antiquity evades my gaze for long. Surely you've read some of my books? They're bestsellers, Assistant. I can get you some, at a very reasonable price. Well, advanced scholarship always involves a bit of give and take. For example, an elderly mage I met in Riften made a, modest contribution. But make no mistake, it was I who cracked Mailmoth's riddles. He was, for a time, struck me as something of an obsession, if I'm being honest. 50 years he's been at this Mailmoth business. 50 years! Oh, can you imagine? That might be a reasonable period of study for an elf, but for a Nord? Ooh, it's untenable. Of course I did. What kind of Mer would I be if I let that doddering fossil waste his scant remaining years chasing riddles like this? I may be ambitious, but I am never... Yes, of course, all the credit he deserves. I am generous with my praise. You'll see soon enough, Assistant.
What do you want?
Yoren didn't mention he was sending you to Solitude. Not that I'm sorry to have you along. An extra blade is always welcome. As soon as Brondold shows up, we can get things started. He's what? Damn it. Queen Gerhild will be here at any moment. Look, Her Highness is expecting to talk to me and my contact. I need you to pretend to be that contact, or this will go very badly. We can exchange intimate details of our lives later. Right now, just know that the safety of all of Skyrim, maybe even all of Tamriel, depends on how this meeting goes. So follow my lead and be on your best behavior with Her Highness.
Lyris Titanborn. Your reputation is known even here in the West. Is this one of your famed companions?
No, but I assure you my partner is one of the Skald King's best. Go introduce yourself, partner.
I am Gerhild, Queen of Skyrim. Allow me to welcome you on behalf of our kingdom, our city, and our hold. Who might you be? The letter that preceded your arrival said an attempt was made on the Skald King's life. It indicated that High King Svargrim would be next. My husband took that as an accusation and a threat. He will not meet with you, but I will hear you out. Have you anything that would persuade my husband? It will take some substantial evidence to convince High King Svargrim to heed the words of the hated Yoren, the Skald King. Reachman transgressions will not be enough for Svargrim to accept outside help. He's a prideful man, and the bad blood between him and Yoren runs deep. I will speak on your behalf, but you and Lyris will need to bring me proof he cannot ignore. Thank you for alerting me to this situation. I am eager to see what else you uncover. I will do what I can, but be as discreet as possible. If you run afoul of my husband, he won't hesitate to return you to Yoren, and not necessarily in one piece. Eastern and Western Skyrim have been at odds since the kingdom was divided. Yoren's ambitions for the Ruby Throne, however, have created a new level of tension. Forming alliances and raising armies for conquest. Should we not be wary of such a man? Frankly, yes. He believes Yoren hasn't marched here with an army as yet, because the Western holds are firmly united against Pact rule. My husband is certain Yoren plots to erode those allegiances. You will not easily earn the High King's trust. You must convince my husband that a threat greater than Yoren exists. Further, this threat must directly imperil the High King. Find proof of this, and I will assist you how I can. Helping to keep our hold safe will also allay his concerns. It's enough for me to believe your intentions are sincere. Learn more about these suspicious activities you mentioned, then bring it to me. If this threat is as dangerous as Yoren claims, prove it, and I will make my husband listen to reason. My deepest apologies. Between the Reach to our south and the Ebonheart Pack to the east, our soldiers have come to see all outsiders as a potential threat. I will look into this. Vigilance cannot be allowed to become a bludgeon.
You handled that better than I expected. Now what in Mara's name happened to Brondald? Damn. Lucky thing he found you. Brondald was supposed to get the lay of the land before I got here. Without his information, my work for Yoren the Skald King could be over before it begins. What did he give you? Hand it over. Smugglers and Reachmen up to illicit business. Nothing unusual there, but Brondald thought it could be connected to the Coven. I'm short a good investigator, and you stepped into the role easily enough. Can I count on you to help me with this? Brondald mentioned some locals we should have a talk with. A snitch named Grega, who likes to gamble in back alleys, and an orc named Mog, who frequents the Lonely Troll Inn. Let's find them and see what they can tell us. We don't, but it's all we've got. Even if they aren't connected to the Icereach Coven, taking care of a few of Svargrim's problems might earn us some goodwill. Now, let's go check out the back alleys and the Lonely Troll Inn.
Keep it down. You'll wake the dead.
I'm not the first Nord from the east to receive a chilly reception at the Blue Palace. Doubt I'll be the last. The Bard's College. Hard to imagine the Skald King spent his youth studying verse in this stodgy old kingdom.
Greetings.
Hey! Don't step on the dice! There a reason you're interrupting our game, pork face? Don't know any Brondald. Don't know you. Either way, I got nothing to tell you. Get lost. I'm on a winning streak. Dead? That's a new one. Nothing Kassala usually moves through port is worth killing over. You didn't hear it from me, but she's the one picking up those shipments. Her warehouse is down on the docks. You want to know more? Go ask her.
We didn't build Solitude on the Great Arch originally. No, we started near. I'm not sure I understand the purpose of...
Castle Dower is a monument to the Western spirit. Stony and cheerless. Maybe the new tower will liven up the place. You must be Mog. I have questions.
Questions? Happy to oblige. Buy a few rounds and let's chat.
You're going to answer me, Orc, or...
Hey! Nobody intimidates my friends.
Princess Svana.
Who gave you the right to walk in here and bully my friend? Did my father send you? Because he doesn't like Mog. But I like Mog. Mog doesn't care that I'm a princess, and it doesn't matter to me that Mog's a scoundrel. If my father... Smelly bastards. Cheap, too. Wouldn't buy us a drink. They hung their flyers and left without saying a word. Then, a different smelly bastard showed up to sign on workers. He was a charmer, though. His breeches fit well. And he was handsome. Not a Nord. Breton, maybe. I didn't really listen to what he was saying. A half-dozen workers left with him. Off to the Drudok Mountains or someplace. He hasn't been back since.
Let's talk outside, partner.
Tusking Screg. He wouldn't last 2 swings against me if he fought. Have you got an army with you? That's what it'll take. Screg's got, if you can call.
Maybe Yoran deserved this fate. Maybe Fieldgore was right.
So we've got a mysterious Breton possibly working with Reachmen, recruiting workers for some unknown purpose. Plus there's a smuggler hiding unknown contraband in a warehouse down by the docks. I say we deal with the smuggler first. We know where to find her, and we more or less know what she's up to. And if the two are connected, maybe the smuggler can help us narrow our search for the Breton. Ready to visit Casella's warehouse?
Kyne's Aegis needs your help. Sea giants and vampires are everywhere.
That's Casella's warehouse. Only 1 sentry. Let's try not to cause a scene.
Private property. Get lost. Wait. Half-giant? Is that Lyris Titanborn? Blood and Blade. Everyone knows Lyris Titanborn. What a woman. She's even larger than I imagined. No wonder she fought Swordmaster Sai Sahan to a draw. Wait, is he here too? Until Casala returns, I'd be happy to keep fair Lyris company in her stead. Alas, Casala doesn't allow visitors when she isn't here to conduct business. But we can wait out here. Do you think Lyris would autograph my ancestral scabbard? It would mean so much to my son. When I have one. Do you know if Lyris is betrothed? Oh, thank you, thank you! You don't know how much this means to me.
I don't know what you said to him, but this is our chance. Try the lock. Good job with the sentry. You got rid of him and I didn't have to bash him or anything. See what's in those marked crates. I'll watch the door.
I knew whoever was poking through our shipments would return. Brought muscle this time, I see.
More than you. Care to try me?
I'll pass. I just want to know who's been meddling in my business. I had a feeling it wasn't just an opportunistic thief trying to steal my cargo. What are you after? A plot against the High King? Involving plundered antiquities from Hammerfell? Preposterous. I'm simply facilitating a transaction between treasure hunters and a rich collector. So, who am I paying the bribe to? You or the High King? Gimme that! Tribal crafts my arse. I told that son of a skeever I don't deal in arcane goods. Especially ones from the Reach. Nothing but sorrow comes from such business. This isn't cursed, is it? No name, just instructions and gold. Shipments come in, I make sure no one looks too closely and wait for a pickup. Never see same face twice. Last time it was a smooth-talking Breton with Nord laborers in tow. You want more? I need assurances. They're taking the cargo to an abandoned lodge in the foothills north of Solitude. Occasionally used it myself when the city guard was being thorough. Want to catch them? Start there. If that's all, we're leaving. I'm not losing my head over this. The Breton was sly. Handsome even. Thought he could charm me into taking on additional shipments. Now that I know what's involved, the trouble isn't worth it. The Nords were local, hired hands from the Lonely Troll. I'm paid not to ask too many questions. This arrangement was a lucrative one. I trusted them, but it seems they took advantage of my natural greed. That won't happen again.
Brondald had good instincts. We're definitely onto something. Our mystery buyer is hiring locals to haul these urns and reach fetishes out of the city. But for what purpose? Without a doubt, the Coven's attack on Yoren involved a ritual. Why hire locals, though? Seems like an unnecessary risk. And how does the Breton figure in? I suppose using different people draws less attention. Something doesn't feel right. No reason not to. Head there while I circle around from the other direction in case they're already on the move. Just be careful. I'd rather not lose another partner before we actually figure out what we're up against. Give your sentry my best, and tell him I owe him an autograph.
Oh, he's gonna get more than an autograph if I see him again.
The moment I arrived in Solitude, several cats found me. Is this to be my fate in every single port city I visit?